Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the Marquette Golden Eagles Dynasty here on NCAA Football 14. It's the war for Wisconsin, the inaugural matchup here against the Wisconsin Badgers. Marquette enters at number 24, Wisconsin just 3-3. They suffered an 0-3 start to the season, but have since won their last three and are now 500. Big brother here in the state of Wisconsin, but we're going to try and take them down and kind of prove who the top team in Wisconsin is. A yearly matchup. We plan on playing Wisconsin now every season. They have TJ Watt, but Watt at tight end. I'm assuming that's where he was originally recruited as one of the bigger weapons on this offense. A very good running team for Wisconsin, a pro-style offense, as we are here at Camp Randall Stadium against the Wisconsin Badgers. We come off last week a win, 7-0 against Kansas State, where our offense just really struggled all game. Greg Walker only 4 for 10, I think 32 passing yards, and we really struggled there. A game-winning drive towards the end of the game, and we'll start with our defense in this one. So it was a game-winning touchdown scored by Dusty Alexander on our last drive of the game, and our defense able to hang strong for just our second shutout of this series. Now Eddie Stevens on for the kickoff, and we're now underway from Wisconsin. Let's see, a big win here, maybe the biggest game so far in program history, as Lewis, a good maneuver there to get away from Aaron Clark, and he'll take it past midfield, and a tremendous opening start for the Badgers. Although it looks like it is coming back, and we'll take that a clipping call. So now Wisconsin brought all the way back to their own 11, about a 40-yard swing there. Daryl Mosley, one of the top running backs in the Big Ten, the lone back here, is going to get maybe 20 carries in this one, maybe more. And a good play there by Carpenter off block to make the run stop, 6 yards for Mosley. Now 2nd and 4. Marquette at 6-1 to enter this game, trying to make it 7. Another give for Mosley. He breaks a tackle there and then brought down by Antonio Carr. Antonio Carr, the Germantown, Wisconsin native, electing to play for Marquette instead of the Badgers. When they come out in the I formation, they will give to Mosley again. Mark Henry was blocked there. Looks like he was going to pick up the run stop, and Mosley gets that up the sideline for 12 and a first down. We haven't seen many 4-3, 3-4 looks from this defense. We like to keep it multiple, but with our personnel, we've been sticking in nickel and the 4-2-5 mostly. Now Mosley, he's going to hurdle and then gets somersault there, gets tabletopped, and he does go airborne, picks up 9, now 2nd and 1. And I also had some issues in formation subs. We only used 30, and it was saying we used the max 50 for some reason. So as I was going through the defense, I wasn't able to adjust our 4-3-3-4 sets. And now Mosley, a carry there, brought down in the lane. I think that was Chris Carter on the stop. Disregard, that was actually Jonathan Leak on the stop, the redshirt freshman linebacker. Haven't seen him too much. And now Jones, a carry, his first of the day. And good defense there, Carter and Mark Henry over there. Last week, our top target of this recruiting cycle, number 10 tight end in the nation, Tyson Williams, committed to Wisconsin over Marquette. He picked the wrong side, and TJ Watt, his first touch as he gets ahead for the first down. And now a first down for the Badgers, now at the 40. Patterson, the fullback, in motion. And they'll go for Mosley, good blocking there to the outside. Leak misses him, and a good wrap up there by Mark Henry, 13 for Mosley. Now another first down for the Badgers. They come out in the I formation. Another give for Mosley, and a good tackle there in the lane by Mike Johnson. So yeah, missing out on Tyson Williams, a big hit that stung last episode. We were prepared for that, though. It was going to be an uphill battle, just hoping he would go into the offseason. Now Kearney a give, not the most athletic linebacker, but works it ahead for 12 yards and a first. Now Wisconsin inside the 15, a good opening drive. A delay give for Mosley. And a good play there in the lane by Chris Carter. Now 2nd and 7 from the 10. Back in the I formation. And they go play action. And he gets TJ Watt there in the end zone. We had good coverage and then just kind of froze there. And Ray Kearney to TJ Watt as the Badgers score a touchdown on their opening drive. Yeah, we had Kevin Davis there underneath, kind of patrolling Watt there, just kind of, like I said, froze like a deer in headlights. If we kept carrying with him, we probably would have avoided that pass attempt. And our first studio update, as number 1, South Carolina falls for the first time, and Missouri 6-2, and they're probably going to go up into the rankings now after beating the number 1 team in the nation. Now Robert Williamson will get a chance on the kickoff, Try to start us with some good field position as he fails to make it to the 20. And then the Marquette offense takes the field, just 7 points last week, but that was enough to get the win. Craig Jones will open the game in the backfield, and he will open with a carry as he runs into his own man and gets a couple. Now it's 2nd and 8 for Marquette, and I saw at the bottom, number 2 Baylor lost to West Virginia, so the number 1 and number 2 teams fall this week. Now halfway through this fourth quarter, 2nd and 8. We're going to go for Craig Watkins, and the tight end makes the catch despite the big hit. And I think we needed a quick completion from Walker. He's really struggled here in the past few weeks. And that time, the first down, a good hookup with Craig Watkins. And now we'll take a look at the UW impact players on defense, starting with Neil Brown, a 6'3", 266-pound senior, 92 overall, part of the year 1 recruiting class here for the Badgers, so one of the top DNs in that class. He had 44 tackles for loss over his career, so very good against the run. He's racked up some sacks as well, 94 finesse, 91 block shed, 95 pursuit, 92 hit power, 83 tackle, and a very good athlete at his size with 79 speed, 86 acceleration, and 72 agility, 82 strength, good for a D end. So one of the best defensive players here in the Big Ten and the top defensive player for Wisconsin. At right end, there's Justin Freeman, 6'5", 285, so maybe more of an interior guy, but only 70 speed, not a good athlete there at right end, so maybe we can try and hit the edge there with some speed and maybe get past him into the second level. 86 strength though, 90 finesse, 87 block shed with 92 pursuit. Already 16 tackles for loss on the year, 2.5 sacks, 9.5 sacks over his career. In the linebacking core, they're led by Alec James, a redshirt senior at 91 overall. Decent athlete with 82 speed, agility, 92 acceleration, so probably better than just decent of an athlete at linebacker. 96 awareness, 95 pursuit with 93 block shed, so relentless against the run with 86 play rec. Not the best in coverage, although he has the 86 hit power and he can get after the quarterback. Power and finesse there in the low to mid 80s. Last week we faced a very good group of corners, which picked off Greg Walker and really stifled him in the passing game. This week, a very good corner tandem as well. Jakari Washington, a redshirt senior at 90 overall, tremendous athlete with 93 speed, agility, 95 acceleration, awareness very high, man in zone there in the low 90s with 90 press, 78 play rec, not the best for a senior, 96 pursuit, so he can get after ball carriers a little bit with 88 jumping over his career. Only 5 interceptions too this year, 20 pass deflections though. On the other side, there's Anthony Johnson, a true junior at 83 overall with the 96 speed, 90 acceleration, agility a little low there though at 81, 91 man, 87 zone, 89 press. So he's going to stick on you, especially with that speed and that press. Going to be hard to get off the line. 86 play rec, 84 pursuit, and good jumping and hit power. Back to the action as Marquette takes over at the 35 following that completion of Craig Watkins. Dusty Alexander back out there. He returned from broken ribs last week. He'll get to give his first of the day as he does get a tough run up there for 3. Lance Leipold reassuming play calling duties in this game, and Bobby Goss was not too happy about that. The offensive coordinator here for the Golden Eagles. Now 2nd and 7. Walker takes the snap, and he's gonna be picked off by Washington. Washington there on Mason, and an early interception from Greg Walker. Exactly what we didn't need, but tremendous close on the ball there, and not how we wanted to start this one. I guess it doesn't matter who's calling plays. Greg Walker has thrown a ton of interceptions here in the last 3-4 games. He was having a tremendous start to the season ball security wise. Only 2 interceptions I think in our first 4 or 5 games, but in the last 4 he's thrown 6 interceptions now. Hopefully just had to get that one out of the way and it'll be smooth sailing at this point. Now Mosley, a strong run there as he picks up a first down, a good truck against Price. Still Marquette +4 in the turnover differential despite the rough going here the past few weeks. Another 4 yards there for Mosley. Mosley already 72 rushing yards on just 11 carries. Very productive to start the day as we hit the 2-minute mark in this first quarter. They will give it to Mosley again. A good block as he's tripped up there. A good tackle by Carter. 14 runs to 2 passes so far for the Badgers. And they'll go right back to it as Mosley stood up that time. Kevin Davis on the stop. I think Price might have been there initially. Correction, that was Williamson on the stop. Now 2nd and 10. Wisconsin from the 11 now. Kearney directly under center as he drops back to pass. Has made over the middle. That's Lewis for the touchdown. Alex Lewis, 11 yards. And Ray Kearney, 3 for 3, 32 and 2 tutties. And we'll get another studio update here. Very active week in college football as number 10, Virginia Tech falls. North Carolina beats them 33-30. Mitch Trubisky over 300 yards with 3 touchdowns. We defeated North Carolina a few weeks back, which has seemed like an eternity since then. Our offense was playing very good football at that point, but just has really fallen off since, as Williamson worked that to the 23. At what point do you start thinking about, going to the backup quarterback? I mean, as good as Greg Walker has been since taking over as a freshman, it's been like a very tough stretch for him now. And Alexander will get a give. Had some room there to the outside, but stifled before he can get going. That's Marcus Coleman, tackle for loss. Jackson was part of that same recruiting class with Walker, and actually a higher rated quarterback on the recruiting boards, but Walker just ended up winning the job. And another run here will go for Craig Jones, the Madison, Wisconsin native, as he picks up 3. 3rd and 7 now as Marquette takes the snap. We'll just dumped it off for Craig Watkins underneath. And he's absolutely obliterated. I was hoping he can get upfield for the first down, but he was absolutely rocked. A strong quarter of play here to start for Wisconsin at home as they lead 14-0, and they are going to get the ball back to start the second. Just really skittish on offense on the dropbacks right now. 5-mile-per-hour winds to the left. Let's see if Stevens can take advantage a little bit. Looks like that might be fair called as it is at the 25, so a good field position swing there. And now we'll go with the Wisconsin impact players on offense, and it all runs through Daryl Mosley. 6 foot, 201 redshirt junior, 93 overall, 90 speed, 89 acceleration with 83 agility, a little lower but still good. 94 break tackle, 93 elusiveness, 89 carrying, 86 vision, 89 spin, and 92 juke. We've already seen him tear it up. He's probably going to run for close to 200, I would think. 605 on the season with 5.9 yards per carry. Even higher last year at 6.4, just in a limited sample size, though. 6 touchdowns, and I think next season a prime Heisman candidate. At wide receiver, there's Jazz Peavy, 91 overall, 94 speed, 99 acceleration, 90 agility, 91 catch. The route running at 82. Not the best hands, with just 70 catch in traffic, 74 spec catch. So if we can stay on him, he's not really that good in contested spots. 77 jump, 77 release, but 91 juke, 83 elusive, and 82 spin. So good with the ball in his hands. Last year, over 1,100 receiving yards with 9 touchdowns so far on this season. 17.9, very good. A big play threat throughout his career. I mean, 17.4 per reception over his career, 5 touchdowns this year, and a big play threat in that passing game. And then there's Rob Wheelwright, 90 overall, another very good athlete with 94 speed, 99 acceleration, 98 agility, 87 catching. The route running, catching traffic, spec catch there, low to mid 80s. And nothing else really of note, but a very dynamic athlete. And he has missed a few weeks now, back and healthy. At tight end, we've already seen TJ Watt, 6'4", 233, redshirt senior. Already a touchdown in this one, 90 overall, 81 speed, 83 acceleration. Good for a tight end. High awareness with 85 catch in traffic, 81 catch. Very good blocker with 82 run, 81 pass block, 79 route running. So a very good tight end overall. Last year, 5 touchdowns with 518. We'll just go through their offensive line real quick. Steve Black, a freshman at left tackle, so maybe we got to start bombarding that left side. 85 pass block, 79 run, 81 impact. Not terrible, but just not that good of an athlete. 12 pancakes to just 1 sack given up. At left guard, Mike Williams is actually injured, maybe their top lineman. So instead it'll be Leon Hutchinson, a 77 overall redshirt sophomore. 7 pancakes, 1 sack allowed. Again, not a good athlete, but decent traits, although the impact low there at 76. At center, there's Matt Miller, a 90 overall redshirt senior. Another very poor athlete, but high awareness. 89 pass block, 86 run, with 81 impact and 94 strength. Over his career, 31 pancakes to just 2 sacks given up. At right guard, there's Tony Merrill, a redshirt sophomore. 7 pancakes to 7 sacks given up. Interesting ratio there. 90 run block, 84 pass, only 75 impact with 83 strength. At right tackle, there's Houghton Beagle, only 257, so a little underweight at right tackle, although he has the 92 strength, so it makes up for it there. 88 run, 86 pass block with 82 impact. And then at quarterback, there's redshirt junior Ray Kearney. We've seen him pretty solid, as like a game manager, already 2 touchdown passes, 83 accuracy, only 77 throw power, and they're not going to throw with him all that much, and not that great of an athlete under center either. So Wisconsin now takes over at the 25. And we'll see if we can actually try and hold them out of the end zone there. We saw TJ Watt there, a good block against Carter, as Kearney picks up 8. 2nd and 2 now. And they go right back to Mosley. Antonio Carr gets there. Another 5 yards from Mosley. And he's shaken up, so they might have to go to their backup running back. You never want to see a player get injured, but in this case, Mosley was just rocking us. So there's Jones back after I think he's had 1 carry so far. And they'll give it right to him. Redirects there and ends up getting 3 there for Anthony Jones. We'll see how significant of an injury that is for Mosley here shortly. And I wonder if that'll alter their game plan at all. This time Kearney keeps again. And Chris Carter there to bring him down. 3rd and 1 now. 3rd and short here from about midfield. Going to bring a lot of pressure. As they just go for Jones and Kevin Davis there. But too little too late. 4 yards for Jones and a 1st down. So Wisconsin, not the best offensive line, at least athletically. And that left side a little inexperienced, so we'll try and rush from that side a little bit here. Looks like they are running more so towards the right. Not here, though. To the left as Davis able to bring him down. A 10-yard rush there for Jones. 2nd and inches. Wisconsin putting together another good drive as Kearney keeps, and Mark Henry all over it that time. 3rd and 5. We need to stop. Really good discipline from Mark Henry. Sitting there and making the stop as Mosley is out for the game with a strained pec, so he was on pace for a huge day, but it won't continue. And that's Lewis over the middle. We lost that zone with Chris Carter in coverage, and they hit there on the 3rd and 5. Kearney perfect so far, 4 for 4. And like I was talking about earlier, I mean, at what point do you go to Lawrence Jackson if you're Marquette? Another keep there for Kearney, and he stood up there at the line of scrimmage. 2nd and 10 now for Wisconsin. Lewis in motion. Kearney takes a snap of delay give for Jones. Witherspoon can't bring him down. Then Bobby Price there, the 2nd man to get him. 3rd and 7. Marquette desperate for some response on defense. And that's Howard right out of the backfield. I think the fullback. And that's going to go inside the 10, 1st and goal. In regards to Walker, it's like, you know, we want to stay loyal to our guy, but at what point do you just need to instill some fresh blood here into the offense? Now it's Jones and a good tackle from Chris Carter. And we also do have a freshman, Jason Smith, an athlete who we put at quarterback, but we did have a red shirt on him, and I wouldn't be opposed to using it, but I don't know if it'd be worth it at this point. Still, and we also have Lawrence Jackson, so maybe he probably, deserves a chance first, but I think Smith is going to be a dynamic quarterback for us a couple years from now. And an outside give there for Jones, and he finds pay dirt, and Wisconsin just pouring it on here in the first half. Now the Marquette offense back out there, and Greg Walker maybe seeing ghosts right now. We'll go for McBride for the first time, and he fumbles, and it's picked up by Neil Brown, and the Badgers now take over inside the red zone. So this game absolutely slipping away from us. The Badgers take over now at the 20, not the boost they needed. As a good tackle there by Kevin Davis to bring down Anthony Jones. 2nd and 4. Downing, the backup tight end, in motion. And they go play action, and they swing it out for Downing, and a good tackle there by Mark Henry. A big hit, now 3rd and 3. 3rd and short. Let's see if Marquette can show some resistance here, as Mark Henry does get over for a big-time stop. 4th and 2, and if I was Wisconsin, I'd probably just go for it. And I definitely didn't expect them to, but they are going to go for it, unfortunately. And I think they have a good chance at stopping us here. Patterson in motion. I'm going to go play action. And we read that all the way, and Antonio Carr gets in for the sack. A big flip there, and hopefully that gives us the momentum we need. 2 turnovers here in this first half for Marquette. 1 an interception, and then, of course, we just saw Mario McBride cough it up moments ago. They'll start this drive again for Dusty Alexander, and he'll get ahead for 4. Now less than 2 minutes left in the half. Walker takes the snap. We'll just dump that off for Childress. And he drags the man ahead for the first down. 9 yards for Childress. 1st and 10 now. And you don't got to rush, but you got to, be quick, but don't hurry. I think that was the great John Wooden, if I'm not mistaken. Walker takes the snap. Go there for Terry at the sideline. A good ball there from Walker. Good read to get Terry. That's for 11. As we do string together back-to-back first downs. Feels good. Walker's still out there empty as he takes the snap. Just got that off for Coleman as pressure broke in and Walker sat there and delivered a good ball. 17 for Coleman as we work across midfield. 1:11 now left at the 41. Marquette still with all their timeouts. Walker takes the snap. Rolls to the right. We'll just dump that off for Terry as he extended the route there. 2nd and 1. We will call a timeout just to get our offensive lineman back to full stamina, hopefully. Now 2nd and 1. Marquette at the 31. And Alexander does get it as he rushes ahead for 3. We're going to start going hurry up now. Go with flanker drive here as Coleman in motion. And Walker takes the snap. We'll dump that off for Coleman. Why is he jumping for that one? He jumps. The knee goes down, so we're going to have to hurry up here. I don't know what that was all about. A little dramatic, if you ask me. Now 40 seconds left. Walker takes the snap. I'm just going to throw that one away. We put Mason on an out there. I thought that linebacker was going to blitz. We can get it off to him quickly, but he dropped back in coverage. Just the second 3rd down here of the day so far for Marquette. 32 seconds remaining, 3rd and 7. Walker takes the snap. We got Pope there on the dump off, and we'll just take that check down. We'll go curl flat here with Jones on the angle. Walker takes the snap. And we do go for Jones. He can't hang on. And now 2nd and 10. 22 seconds left. 2nd down for Marquette inside the 15. Walker takes the snap. We'll just dump that off for Terry. And again, why are we jumping for these? What is going on? Got to use a timeout. I think they're trying to bamboozle us here or something. And now 3rd and 6. Walker takes the snap. Gonna go for Pope over the middle. And he's short. And I don't know what to do. I think we'll call a timeout here. I don't know. I'm kind of at a crossroads here. 4th and 1 from the 5. If we're going to kick a field goal, we should have let time take down a little bit more. I think I'll just put the offense out there, see how it looks. And if we don't like it, I mean, we definitely want to get on the board all this, this whole drive. To not come away with points would certainly hurt. But at this point, I mean, 21 points. Do we really need a field goal? I kind of do like this look. I think we might be able to get Childress there quickly. Oh, this really could backfire. And I was only going to do one more hard count, and it ends up in a false start. So we are going to just have to kick the field goal, and we'll take some points. We do get the ball at half, so I don't know. Kind of rough here that this drive stalls out, but we definitely don't want to be held scoreless here. 5 mile per hour winds to the left as Castillo gets the kick up, and that does get in there. So 21-3, Marquette on the board, but certainly a half we want to forget, but a promising end despite how it stalled out. And now still 4 seconds left for the Badgers, and like I said, we should have just ran the clock all the way down if we were going to just go for a field goal, but I wasn't really thinking at that point. And the squib only draws 2 seconds off the clock, so Wisconsin will get a chance for a deep heave. Now, Kearney takes the snap here. And he does just heave it deep. And we can't get an interception there. So 21-3, we kind of already reviewed what happened. 2 turnovers, which really have proven to be detrimental. A really slow start for our offense, but kind of getting something going here. I was really considering sending Greg Walker to the bench, but kind of came alive there on that last drive, albeit in a field goal. But down 18, we do get the ball, so I think it's obviously crucial to start the second half with a touchdown here in the war for Wisconsin. Not the best showing, to debut in this rivalry matchup, but hopefully we can fight back. And just a little overwhelmed here in Madison to start, but I think we're kind of settling down. And the loss to Daryl Mosley on offense should prove to be a big loss there for Wisconsin, although Anthony Jones kind of seems to be a viable replacement there in the backfield. 21-3 heading into the second half. Now Marquette will start at the 25 here in this second half as they trail by 18. Alexander the opening give here to start the half, and he gets ahead for 7. Marquette doesn't really have the luxury to take their time on offense, but I think we should try and focus on the run a little bit more, at least on this opening drive. As Alexander give a good spin move, and he's tripped up, gets 7 yards. I even said it like at the end of last week's episode. We really got to start, going back to the run, going back to our roots, running the rock to set up the pass, but we kind of went away from that here to start. Going to try and get back to it as Alexander another 5 as he works to the 45. Second down. And they do go right back to Alexander. A good cut there as he works across midfield. Another 7 and a first down for the Golden Eagles. First down now. Craig Jones into the game. And they go with the read option here. And Walker just 3 yards that time, stopped in the open field. Now 2nd and 7. We're going to go bubble screen here for Terry. Coleman couldn't pick up his block, but did get there on a second effort. Good recovery. And that'll get Terry ahead for 11 and a first down, our leading receiver entering this game. Walker now over 100 yards. What is that, like 5, 6 straight completions, I believe? Now we'll go back to the run here for Alexander to the outside, and he's tripped up after 4 yards. Now 2nd and 6. And then we'll go right back to Alexander. Should have went to the left there. A big stand-up. Only 2 yards now. 3rd and 4. Now 3rd and 4. A quick hit there for Coleman. A lot of cushion there on the out. And we'll take that 5 yards on a first down. Already more than 3 minutes gone in this third quarter. That's kind of what I meant when I said we didn't really have the luxury of wasting time here. And Walker will just keep that time. Take that 15 inside the 10. 1st and goal. Marquette now inside the 10. As they go to a stretch there for Jones to the short side of the field. Opts to go up the middle, gets 4 yards. Now 2nd and goal. McBride into the game for the first time since coughing it up earlier. He'll get the carry here and only gets ahead for a couple. Now a 3rd and goal. 3rd and goal from the 2. Back in the I formation. Then we go with Jeff Harris. Now the fullback, and he finds his way into the end zone. So Marquette finds the end zone for the first time here to start the second half. Exactly what we needed. Probably killed more time than we would want. Over half the quarter gone, but it was more important to get on the board here to start the second half than it was to save some clock. And it might make sense here to go for 2 and make it a 10-point game, but we'll just kick the extra point for now and make it 21-10. And now 3:38 remaining in the third. Our defense needs to respond. Gary Andersen here, the head coach for Wisconsin. Low job security reportedly, and rumblings around the nation are that they might eye up Lance Leipold and try and pluck him from Marquette. Anthony Jones there as Wisconsin starts this half with a 2-yard rush. Pretty sure Leipold is loyal to the Marquette program, but that'll be interesting to see. We've gotten better job offers now each offseason. Patterson at fullback in motion, and they'll go with Jones there. And he does trip through the lane, gets 8, a 3rd and inches. Last year, Leipold offered the Syracuse job. The year prior, we were offered the Temple head coaching job. 3rd and inches here. And they go back to Jones. And Mark Henry does make the stop, but Jones gets ahead for the first down, barely getting that yard. And I touched on it earlier. Lance Leipold taking back play calling duties, and Bobby Goss maybe on the move this offseason, kind of falling out of favor here with Leipold. Although they have been together all 5 years of this dynasty, but sometimes you just need a fresh start somewhere else. Our defensive coordinator throughout this series, Herbert Wright, took the Kansas head coaching job, and they've started 2-3. Our other coordinator could be on the move. We'll see if he gets maybe some head coaching looks or maybe just a better coordinator job. As a handoff there for Jones and a strong play by Antonio Carr. Bring him down in the backfield. Now 3rd and 10. Come out and dime in this cover 2 sink. Try and keep them in front of us. 3rd and 10, Kearney to pass. And we pulled off Peavy there, but Perkins able to recover and make the tackle. Derek Perkins, a freshman corner. 4th and 1 from the 44, and they are going to punt. Kevin Davis on to return. So working to the left and works that to about the 26, if I saw that correctly. And that's how you draw it up if you're Marquette, to get a defensive stop after an opening touchdown. Now down at 11, 1:15 remaining. And then we'll go back to Alexander as he gets ahead for 6. I would really like to call some play action here, but I'm just super scared of taking a sack. Now 2nd and 4, we'll go to Alexander. As he works that across to the left side, gets 4 yards and a first down. A fresh set from Marquette now at the 35. Childress in motion. And Walker takes the snap. Rolls to the right. Doesn't see anything. Then there's Childress streaking free, and Childress a big catch extending the route. 16 yards across midfield, his second of the day. Marquette now across midfield. Don't got to call a play here if we don't want to. But why not? I think we'll just give Jones another touch here. A little too early there on the spin, but we'll still take 5. As this third quarter does end a lot quicker than the past two, it would seem, as we finally have something going. 21-10. Marquette driving, trying to claw their way back in here in the war for Wisconsin. And Craig Jones ended that third quarter with a 5-yard carry still on the field, but the Madison, Wisconsin native, he has a little chip on his shoulder in this game. The Badgers did not even pursue him. And they'll go QB wrap, and we almost had a hole going there. Still 3 yards for Walker, now 3rd and 2. And now 3rd and short, we bring out the goal line formation here. We'll give Michael James some action and a huge gap shoot there. Thought we were going to get at least a couple yards there. Matt Dunn, one of the backup linebackers on this team, filling in. And that's going to be a 4th and 3 now. When in doubt, Z-spot out of ace bunch. We'll see how this goes. 4th and 3. And there's Childress. He hangs on, breaks the tackle, and then brought down promptly after. 6 yards, moving the chains. Now less than 7 minutes in the game. Walker 14-17, only 128 through the air. Takes the snap. Rolls to the right. And he gets that for Childress at the sideline. And another good route from Childress, really coming alive in this game. I am starting to feel the pressure of the clock, though, because with their running game, they really could just eat a lot of it. Walker takes the snap. There's Coleman, and he can't make the catch. Fighting back to the ball, but couldn't hang on through contact. Now 2nd down. And even a field goal here for Marquette does make it a one-possession game. And another good gap shoot there by a Wisconsin linebacker. And he brings down Alexander for a loss. With that being said, now at the 25, I'm not sure if we're quite in field goal range, you would think. Really just can't take a sack here. Walker takes the snap. Just dumped it off for Alexander. And he does get us some insurance. I thought he was going to go out and give us a loss. But we'll take 6 yards. Gives us a more manageable field goal attempt. And they were telling us to go for it here. But I think 36 yards make it a one-possession game. I see the kick is up. And that just, my heart drops when he kicks one. It just never looks like it's going to be long enough. Only 2 misses over his career, but he hasn't hit beyond 40 yards. Now, 21-13, 13 unanswered points here for Marquette. 5:35 remaining in the game. And you can't let Wisconsin get any points here. And those last 2 drives stalling out for Marquette, kind of hurting us, as we need a tutty and a 2-point conversion now. You would have hoped that we could at least cash in for a touchdown on one of those drives, but unfortunately not the case. Wisconsin, very strong red zone defense. And they'll start here a give for Jones. Kevin Davis can't bring him down. And then a flurry of Marquette defenders there. 4 yards, now 2nd and 6. Anthony Jones now at 50 yards in his relief appearance. Kearney in the shotgun, rather. So he'll keep, and Jerry Jones all over that one to bring him down for a loss. Now 3rd and 7. A stop here for Marquette would be ideal, limiting, the clock runoff and getting the ball right back. They're going to go underneath for Peavy, and Price. A bad angle there as he let Peavy get out in front, and he does cash in for the first down. Only 9 pass attempts for Kearney, 8 out of 9. Very efficient performance from him. That's kind of the type of games we would see from Walker, I feel like, back when he took over the starting job. Just really got to get back to the running game, as evidenced here today and probably last week as well. Kearney, a delay give for Jones, and that's Jerry Jones all over it again, stopping him at the line of scrimmage. Gonna go cover one robber here, 2nd and 10. Peavy in motion, and Kearney will pass. Surprisingly, a quick hitch there for Peavy, and he gets 5. And now 3rd and 5 coming up as we're halfway through this 4th quarter. 3rd and 5. I wonder if they'll go back to the pass here. The Badgers 5 for 7 on 3rd down. There's TJ Watt checking over to the other side of the line. They're going to dump that off for Jones, and he can't Bobby Price can't bring him down, and Jones, the second effort, gets him ahead for the first. And Wisconsin, a fresh set of downs. 3:30 remaining, a first down for Wisconsin. And they'll go back to the run here for Jones. And Carr couldn't bring him down, but a good play there by Kevin Davis, staying disciplined there in run support. Only 1 yard. Just going to cover 2-man here on 2nd and 9. Expecting a run here. Howard checks into the game at running back. Less than 3 minutes now in the game. Are they going to start shredding some clock here? It looks like they are. And is that a false start? Going with a hard count. That is a false start, so back him up 5 more. Now 2nd and 14, and maybe they go pass here, backed up a little bit. Maybe they stay conservative. Disregard. They're going to go screen, so I guess somewhat conservative. Mike Johnson, a big hit. 3rd and 11 now. Kearney directly under center from the 45. Less than 2.5 now. Are they going to run it all the way down? Thought they would last time. Ended up beating the clock with that false start. And they are just going to let it drain down here. Big play upcoming as Kearney takes the snap. He's going to go for Watt up the seam, and Watt stretching out for it, can't make the catch. A good throw by Kearney, and Chris Carter just a step late there in coverage. And Marquette getting the ball back with 2:06 as Wisconsin will punt. And Anthony Jones hurt for 2 quarters with a strained back after that Mike Johnson hit. Wisconsin punting from the 46 as Davis will field this from the 15. Gonna get going here to the left. A good return there. We'll take it. 16 yards to the 32. Marquette now a chance to tie it here in the late stages. Walker takes the snap. They bring a little pressure. And we try to get rid of it. What was that? We hit throwaway. He ended up throwing it into our own man or into the defender. But luckily we got it back. Neil Brown just obliterating their Hill on the edge. And pitched it to the lineman there. Unfortunate play there as we take a big hit. 13 yards lost now as we're behind the sticks. And time running out. Walker takes another snap. We have Terry there over the middle, and that's going to get some of them back. Disregard as he drops it. And now 3rd and 23. And I'll go with the 5 receivers. I don't think we've seen this look in a few weeks. Walker takes the snap. Go towards the sideline there. Not sure what we're doing. Not the best decision there. Now 4th and 23. I don't even know what to call here on 4th and 23. I was hoping that would drop in for Bonner. We could at least eat up like 6 to 7. Set up a more manageable 4th down here. But obviously not the case. And now Walker takes the snap. And we're just going to have to chuck this one. We don't even get the throw off. Neil Brown, I think that was again. Just rocking Hill. Probably shouldn't even have rolled to that right. Rolled to that side, rather. You live and you learn. So that drive did not go to plan. That first play really set us back. Tried to throw that one away, but a little late. Nothing was open. Should have been a little more quick on that one. Now Howard to give as we are going to use our first timeout. Now 109. Still some life from Marquette, but I mean a field goal here, obviously. The game is over. I mean a first down. The game is over. Still to go for Howard again. And a team effort to bring him down. We call another timeout. Now 104. And they'll go back to Howard. And he picks up the first down. We had Henry there. Played it bad. And now just a minute exactly on the clock. And now we'll see if the Badgers just elect to knee it as they do come out in the victory formation. So we're going to fall here in the inaugural war for Wisconsin, 21-13. We couldn't recover from that slow start. We had a few good drives there that we put together after our slow start, but just not enough. We couldn't cash in the red zone as we ultimately fall by 8. And that fumble, that early interception obviously played into it a little bit. Our defense, though, did come together here in the second half. Didn't allow any touchdowns, any scoring. And I think that's going to wrap it up here. War for Wisconsin 1 goes to Wisconsin, but next year it'll be at the BMO Bradley Center in Milwaukee, and I think we'll be ready by then. You know, you learn a lot from every single game, and we certainly learned a lot here. Greg Walker, a slow start, but it was good to see him kind of get going. Wish we could have had a little comeback effort there on that late drive as Neil Brown, 4 tackles, tackle for loss, sack, forced fumble, and a recovery, as he is the player of the game. Like I said, our defense held strong here in the second half. I think touchdowns on the first 3 drives for Wisconsin, although Mosley getting hurt definitely had something to do with our success there in the second half. But still, a resilient team effort, and Wisconsin now 4-3 as Marquette falls to 6-2, and we're probably going to fall out of the rankings. I will see you back at recruiting headquarters, though, for a recruiting update, as a lot of we're going to have a bye week between here and at Auburn, so a lot of developments there on that front. So now we're here at the recruiting board following that 21-13 loss in the war for Wisconsin as we fall to the Badgers. A very slow start, really just hobbled our efforts later on. An interception and a fumble just really stalled our offense from really gaining any flow early on. So we actually didn't get any new commits as we still stand at 9. Stephen Goodman, we're still dropping little by little for him as Eastern Michigan rising. On all our top guys, Eastern Michigan, or actually I guess they're falling now for Roger Cook, but for Kevin Evans, they've now surpassed us, and they still have a visit with him. So like I've been stressing, I really hope Goodman can make it into the offseason and maybe even Roger Cook. But Evans, we have some late additions to the board who might even be better wide receiver options than him. So I'm not sure if we'll just, abandon ship on Evans completely. Roberson, now we're battling with Northern Illinois, and we each still have a visit with him. We visit with him not next episode, but the episode after. I think that's Western Kentucky. 96% lock. James Suggs here also 96% lock, so maybe he'll commit by next week. Hunter Kraft, the top kicker in the nation. Looks like it's just between us and the Golden Gophers, and they visit with him in week 14. We're gaining 60 each week, so I don't think they'll lock him out by then. Now to the late additions to the board. Shane Jansen, the 12th ranked corner in the nation. We're pulling away from all these schools. He's now 40% locked, so hopefully we can get a visit with him within the next couple weeks. Joe Barnes, the late addition at Athlete, 6'3", 211, Westmont, Illinois. And like I said, in regards to Evans, I think Barnes could be a much better wide receiver option and probably a little bit easier to get. So maybe we just abandon ship on Evans, like I said, and go for Barnes. Now, Albert Brown, 6 foot 236. Love the size there, out of Oak Creek, Wisconsin. Not really sure where he plays, but he could probably be a receiver, a running back, a fullback. We'll see if he has any blocking traits, but at his size, I think he might. And his strength at 61, not the best. And we are pulling away from all these schools. The only school to offer him so far, Tommy Washington, 6'5", 227, JUCO, and 90 speed, but only D strength. I was really hoping for him at tight end, but with that lack of strength, I'm not sure. But either way, he could probably be a receiving tight end maybe. 90 speed, B, agility and acceleration, 82 route running, and the catching traits at C, although the catching traffic down a little at D. So I'm not really sure where all these guys project, at this point, but they all bring a lot of versatility and could certainly offer upgrades in some spots. So we missed out on one offensive line recruit over the week going into the bye week. I think it was Guidry. He committed to Illinois. So if we don't get Roger Cook, as Michigan gained a bunch after their visit, Eastern Michigan still visits with him. So we'll see how it goes here for Roger Cook, but I'm not giving my hopes up. Really just hope he and Goodman go into the offseason. I think that's ideal. So Chris Davis, we started pouring points into him, although it looks like Georgia Tech is emerging late as the front runner for Chris Davis. So maybe we'll boost him up to 300 for now. We'll probably have to take some points away from some of these other guys, maybe Evans, but we'll worry about that maybe next week. So like I said, no new commits. We still have 9 here. The only 4-star in this class, Jared Luke, the 14th ranked running back. Taylor Ryan, a DN. Marlon Atkinson stays in Milwaukee at center. Andrew Thomas, I think we'll move him to free safety, and he'll probably go up to like a 70 overall. Kyle Romero, one of 2 wide receivers we're hoping to get. Dustin Lee, a bust at D tackle, went down from a 68 to a 61. Don't like to see that. Out of Saskatoon, Canada. Doug Doherty, a solid corner, 2-star from Milwaukee. He'll probably redshirt. Then Daryl Simmons, 19th ranked strong safety. I was going to say shortstop. And then Matt Robinson, a 1-star fullback, a very good blocking fullback. At this point, Marquette has the 34th ranked class with 9 signings. At this point last year, I think we were in like the top 20, and we had like among the most signings. Wisconsin up here in the top 5, and Oklahoma, Notre Dame, TCU, LSU, Wisconsin, UCLA, Alabama, Illinois. A very strong class there from the Fighting Illini, who we plan on playing next year. Vanderbilt, and then Kansas State, who we saw last episode rounding out the top 10. And now we'll get a quick top 25 update as Texas A&M was number 2. They fall now to number 8. Mississippi State just beat them now at number 9. Number 1 last week was Ohio State, and they lose in overtime to Rutgers. Maybe the biggest win in Rutgers program history, repping New Jersey. Love to see that. So Ohio State, their second loss in 4 games. Prior to that, they won 59 out of 60 throughout the course of this series. A huge shakeup here as 1 and 2 fall. And we just saw in the previously number 1 South Carolina fell, and then we went into a bye week, and then Ohio State came out of the bye week number 1, but then lose as they were back up at number 1. So UCLA number 1 at 8-0, and they're set with a matchup here against number 2 Arizona. Very, very interesting development there. Huge Pac-12 national championship implications. And it's good to know that we're the last team to have beaten the Bruins, beating them in overtime in our bowl game last year. South Carolina was number 1 entering this episode, now number 3 after a few weeks. USC 8-1 at number 4. Georgia Tech 6-2. Only 3 ACC teams in the top 25. West Virginia 5-2 at number 6. So I feel a little bit better after losing to them a few weeks back, seeing as how they're now the highest ranked Big 12 team. LSU, A&M, Mississippi State, Army at 6-2, coming off a win against Air Force. Definitely the superior military service academy there. Northwestern, Notre Dame, Baylor. We're set with a matchup with Notre Dame here in a few episodes. Baylor was number 6, previously number 2, and now number 13 after losing to Kansas State. Ohio State number 14. So weird to see them this far down. Navy at 6-1, number 15. Oklahoma, Missouri now 7-2. They just beat Minnesota and previously beat number 1 South Carolina. TCU comes off a win against Oklahoma, now 4-3. Notre Dame up here at 7-3, the top 3-loss team, and then TCU 3 games less down here at 18. Virginia 5-4, the top 4-loss team. Miami, Oregon falls from 5 to 21 after a loss against Cal. They're now number 21, and Auburn at 22. We'll see them next week. Their starting corner is injured. I think that's Jeremy Johnson at quarterback, Peyton Barber at running back, and Elijah Daniel on the defensive line. I think he's the sack leader over the last 2 seasons. They started off 4-0 and then dropped 3 straight, and then they have responded with a road win against Arkansas. They beat number 7 LSU and number 9 Mississippi State to open the year. A very tough road matchup next week at Jordan Hare Stadium? I could totally have that wrong, so apologies if I'm mistaken. Oklahoma State, Michigan, and then Alabama at 25. Weird to see them all the way down here. Marquette is receiving votes, so we're the next team up, followed by Nebraska, Wisconsin, who we just lost to, obviously Florida State, Virginia Tech, Florida, and Ball State. Now in the Heisman watch, Devion Smith at number 1. Love to see that. James White at number 2. And this whole time I thought this was James White from Wisconsin who went to play for the Patriots, but it's a totally different James White. I thought he just ended up transferring like back in year 1 or something, but I've been mistaken this whole time, so the wrong James White. Connor Mitch, we finally get some quarterbacks back in here from South Carolina. Travis Curtis now injured, so I don't think he'll be up here anymore following this week. And then Max Brown from USC rounding it out. Now we'll just scroll through some player stats as we close this episode. And this is where I'm going to leave you, folks. We didn't come away with a win in the inaugural War for Wisconsin as much as I would have loved to accomplish that feat, but not a bad game. Just a very slow start, and we just couldn't recover our footing after that. Really struggled following those 2 turnovers to start the game. Our defense held strong down the stretch, especially with the injury to Daryl Mosley, but overall just couldn't get it done. We really struggled to find points, in the red zone, had to settle for some field goals, and the lack of touchdowns obviously is always going to hinder you, but especially when you start slow like we did today. So we look ahead next week to a road game against Auburn, a ranked Auburn team, only our 2nd ranked matchup of the season, although I think we do have Notre Dame and they should be ranked when we play them. So it'll be an interesting episode next time out. But as always, everybody, it's been real, and be well. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time.